Well, hello. You get the opportunity to have me in my glasses because I'm going to read along with you here. We're going to talk about the Big Daddy, the Big Grandpapa, whatever you want to call it, Division I volleyball. Are you so excited? Yes, I am too. Division I is the ultimate. It's the highest level of competition. It's the Stanford, it's the Nebraska, it's the University of Arkansas, it's the University of Florida, it's Oregon, it's Nebraska, we already said, it's Penn State, it's all of those schools put together, okay? Division I actually has 351 schools that offer athletics. There are 351 schools. Now, when I start to talk to you, I'm going to go through each one of these again with all NCAA schools. And what I'm reading out of, this is black and white here, but you can see it on the NCAA eligibility. It's the Guide for the College-Bound Student Athlete. You can look it up right now. It's a free download. I'm going to read through this with you as I talk about NCAA schools, okay? So as we read this, Division I has 351 schools that offer athletics. There are 351 schools throughout the nation that offer Division I athletics. Their median enrollment, which is kind of like their average enrollment, is about 10,000 students. All right, 1 in 25 students on campus is an athlete. So think about that in your classes. 1 out of every 25 people at your campus is probably an athlete. That is 4% of the student body is an athlete. Most schools have 19 different sports teams on campus on Division I. That can range anywhere from lacrosse to volleyball to swimming to water polo to equestrian to bass fishing to golf to football. There's a lot of different things that happen within sports. And in Division I, 59% of student athletes receive some type of athletic aid. Again, that's not academic aid, that's purely athletic aid. About 60% of all students that are on financial aid or on teams receive some sort of athletic aid. Now, if you take a look, there's a time management thing for Division I. And I want to just discuss with you the differences between Division I, Division II, and Division III within the NCAA. And then we'll discuss the NAIA a little bit later. And NAIA relates really well with Division II. But in Division I, this time management things that says that an athlete spends between 4.4 and 8.6 hours a day working on their sport. 4.4 to 8.6. That means 8.6 is over a third of your day, and we're not even talking about school and sleeping. A third of your day is spent on your sport. The NCAA says that 4.4, between a little bit over 6, about a fifth of the day, and up to a third of the day is spent on sports. You spend 38.5 hours per week. A full-time job is 40, by the way. 38.5 hours a week on your sport. That's in NCAA Division I. So if you think about Division I athletics is like a job. You're spending 38.5 hours a week on average, that's in the season and out of season, on average on your sport. Now also on that time management thing, it says that 2 out of every 3 athletes say that they spend the same amount of time and sometimes even more in the off season on their sport. So as you start to think about Division I, yes, it is high. And again, it's called a head count sport. What a head count sport says, if you get any financial aid from the school, guess what? You're getting a full scholarship. That's what volleyball is. It's called a head count sport. So as many people that are recruited and getting financial athletic aid at the school means that they get a full scholarship from the school. So it's pretty awesome to think, if I'm getting athletic aid, I'm going to get a full scholarship, okay? And then the last thing I want to talk about is this is that Division I is the only division that has a recruiting calendar. So I'm going to spin my glasses just a little bit longer. I apologize if there's a reflection on them, but you really don't need to see my eyes on this. I'm just going to talk to you about the recruiting calendar, okay? Let's start on August 1st. Again, August 1st is the first time you can take your official visit before your junior year. So as we start to think about August 1st, August 1st to the 31st is what we call a quiet period. We talked about it before. You can go to the school, but they can't come to you. August 1st really starts the season. So a lot of coaches during the month of August, they don't want to worry about recruiting you. We love you and everything, but we worry about our team. Okay, our team, it's time to get ready for season. So August 1st to 31st is a quiet period. Now September 1st through November 30th, you're playing high school volleyball more than likely. So they're allowed to come and watch you during that time. From September 1st through November 30th is contact period. Everything is legal. You can come and talk to them face to face on campus. They can come and talk to you. Now, the only time in between that is the signing period. Okay, signing period is in this year, in 2018, which was last year, is when this thing was written. In 2018, from November 12th through November 15th, it's a dead period. No face-to-face contact at all. You can call and email, but there's no face-to-face because they don't want coaches coming over and getting in front of your face and saying, you better sign with me. It's giving you an opportunity to be free from the coaches all around you now. They'll probably call you and they'll probably email you, but you can turn those phones off. Nobody's going to be in your face telling you where you need to sign. You get to make that decision yourself. Now, from December 1st to the end of January, January 31st, this is another quiet period. Again, you can go to the campus if you want to, but really this is a time for coaches to go to the AVCA convention, okay, American Volleyball Coaches Association. They do have a thing at the AVCA convention called the Under Armour All-American, and they have another camp or clinic that goes on. So they do give one day in December where the coaches can come watch you if you're in that AVCA thing. But don't worry about it. From December 1st to January 31st, coaches can't have face-to-face contact with you off campus. You can go to their campus, but give it a break. Breathe. Have fun with your family. Spend time Christmas or Kwanzaa or whatever you're celebrating. Spend it with your family. January 31st, get ready in club. Go to a couple of tournaments without any coaches watching you or having face-to-face contact with you. Learn your team, learn the game, begin to work together as a club. And then February 1st through July 31st, basically from February 1st all the way back until we start the next cycle, it is a contact period. Now, there are a couple exceptions. From February 1st to February 14th, it is a quiet period, so the coaches can't come see you. All right? This always goes to these President's Day weekend. If you watched this last year, President's Day weekend took on a huge thing because that was the first recruitable weekend that there was available for Division I. Division I coaches were not allowed to come and watch you in January. They weren't allowed to come and watch you at the beginning of February. They used to have like Tour of Texas, and they used to have all these big tournaments at the beginning of February. Those aren't anymore because Division I coaches can't come watch you. The first time Division I coaches can come watch you is during President's Day weekend. And that's usually the biggest weekends for volleyball anyway. The biggest tournaments are on that weekend. Another thing that happened this year is a lot of coaches started their recruiting cycle back up on Memorial Day. But they've actually taken the whole May calendar from May 1st to May 30th. They've made that a quiet period as well. Again, you can go on campus of the coach or wherever you want to go to, and you can talk to him or her while you go on campus, but they can't come and evaluate you. So a lot of your tournaments from May 1st to May 30th might have gone or might have disappeared. Now the big tournaments start on June 1st. The big camps start on June 1st. We have a high performance camp on June 1st. The reason why it changed from Memorial Day weekend is because Division I coaches couldn't come. So all the camps and clinics, they start again on June 1st. You'll see a lot of June 1st big tournaments, and then the second weekend of June as well. So there's a quiet period from February 1st to 14th and the whole month of May. So June 1st is a big time to get started on that class because, again, June 15th, we're going to talk about in a second, is when college coaches can begin to contact girls that just graduated from their sophomore year. So if you just finished your sophomore year, coaches are coming to watch you as a sophomore now. They can talk to you face to face starting on June 15th. So as a sophomore, they're coming to watch you and evaluate you from June 1st to 14th. And then on June 15th, they can pick up the phone. They can start offering you scholarships. They cannot offer you a scholarship before June 15th after your sophomore year. Okay? That's a huge difference this year. Before this year is all the way up till August 1st. But the change in what we talked about now is now they can start talking to you and offering you scholarships on June 15th. You can't make your official visit until August 1st. Okay? So that's all we have to talk about in terms of calendars, about dead periods, quiet periods, contact periods, and evaluation periods. Okay? I do want to walk through kind of what you're going to see throughout your years. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and take off my glasses so you can see my beautiful face now. Okay? All right. So when we talk about your freshman year, this is what you want to do if you're a Division I athlete during your freshman year. Okay? Here's a big thing. Be a girl. Be a teenage girl. Don't stress about volleyball during your freshman year. Get better in volleyball. Go to camps that you really want to go to. If you want to go to Penn State's camp, but you're not going to go there, maybe if you have some money, go get better. Okay? Go to sports performance. Go to camps all around that you can to. Don't focus on going to a college. Yes, I love it. I would really love for you to go to a college that you want to. And if you're an elite level Division I athlete, this is your first year that you can't talk to college coaches, and this is your first year that you would need to go to a college camp yourself. Okay? But your freshman year, don't stress. No college coach is going to be offering you a scholarship anymore. They're not allowed to anymore. Your freshman year, settle down and be a young lady. Got it? It's done. Don't worry about anything, okay? Go enjoy playing around and going to the beach and being a teenage girl. Now, when your sophomore year starts, that's usually when coaches are probably going to start to come over and watch you play. If you go down to like AAU or you go to nationals, college Division I coaches can come and watch you, but they can't offer you scholarships. They're going to get you into their university athlete. We'll talk about that later. How do I get seen? They'll get you into their recruiting list. So whenever you get to be at the end of your sophomore year, they can start talking to you and offering you scholarships. But they start watching you the summer before your sophomore year in high school. And then during your club season of your sophomore year is where recruiting is going to start to ramp up a lot. That's going to be a point where you're going to be able to go and you're going to be able to see Division I coaches around your court a lot more often. And then June 15th, at the end of your sophomore year, a lot of college coaches, Division I coaches, are going to start emailing you, they're going to call you, and they're going to offer you right off the bat. They're going to offer you full scholarships. Now, you still cannot visit the school until August 1st. No matter what else you hear, you cannot visit the school until August 1st after your sophomore year, before your junior year. But on June 15th, coaches can offer you full scholarships. If you've already taken an unofficial visit, this is a time where you can make a decision where you want to go to college. So your freshman year, don't worry about it. Your sophomore year, start to get an idea. We talked about before naming down 25 schools by the time you're a junior. Now you're going to start having some of those schools call you at the end of your sophomore year, and they're going to offer you full scholarships. You've got to be ready at the end of your sophomore year for those type of phone calls and for those type of offers. You need to have your list narrowed down to really where you want to go. And maybe even visit some during camp of your freshman year, after your freshman year, before your sophomore year, and definitely after your sophomore year, start to go to the camps of the schools you want to go to. You can go to their camp. It's almost like an official visit, except for you're paying, but you get to stay on campus, you get to go around campus. It's a pretty awesome opportunity. So take a look at starting to narrow that down after your sophomore year. Now, your junior year, you need to make a decision by July 1st after your junior year. No matter what division you're going. Now, if you're a senior right now, it's okay. It's not too late, but it's not recommended. Make your decision by July 1st. Now, you can go on your official visits with Division I from August 1st, all right, before your junior year. Make all of your official visits with Division I. You're only allowed 5. We'll talk more about official visits later. But go to all your Division I official visits and your Division II official visits in your junior fall. You can't go to Division III until after your junior year fall and January 1st of your junior year. So it starts your spring. So get Division I, Division II, start to go to all those schools. Take a look at your options in terms of full scholarships. If no Division I or Division II team is offering you an official visit during the fall of your junior year, you're probably not going to get a full scholarship. So you need to open up what you want to do. But Division I, if you're a Division I athlete, I would really recommend that you understand kind of where you want to go by June 15th after your sophomore year. Go on your official visits by August 1st of your junior year, right before your junior year starts, and make your commitment before that dead period of December 1st. So I would say Thanksgiving would be a deadline for Division I to make your commitment. And then as you're a junior, start to wear the t-shirt around saying, hey, I'm going to Baylor, or I'm going to Liberty, go Flames, or I'm going to the University of Florida, go Gators. Okay? Now it's done. You can make your decision and you can start by, okay, now I know where I'm going to school. I can get my eligibility center stuff done. I can talk to the admissions and financial aid, get all my test scores and my transcripts in. So starting January 1st, if you're a Division I athlete, you should have already committed. And again, you can talk to the coach on phone in December, but let's get that done during your high school season. Let's get it done before that, maybe even before your high school season, but definitely by the time December 1st rolls around, let's be committed to Division I. Got it? Junior year, the end of your junior year, you can go to prom, you can go play club, you can get better. Your senior year, again, you know where you're going. You can start asking your coach what you need to be doing in terms of weights and things, and maybe even getting that green shirt and starting a semester early. But you already know where you're going. In November of your senior year, you sign your letter of intent. Again, that's in signing day, the last chapter of the last unit. But Division I, these are what you do every one of the 4 years. Now, let's go through a Division I week during season and out of season and in summer. Okay, summer I'm going to go pretty quickly. Most of the time for Division I, the summer before your senior year, before your freshman year at the school, you are asked to come into summer school. Okay, the coach cannot work with you one-on-one, but the team usually gets together, they work in the weight room together, and they have an open gym together, and you're taking classes during that summer term. You're trying to get better and develop cohesion between your team and that summer to start fall volleyball, okay? So during the summer, you basically have classes, 12 hours of classes, you have open gyms in the afternoons, and usually in the mornings or the afternoons, you have weights, okay? It's not as strenuous as during fall because again, the coach can't get in there and have practice. But you have open gyms, you do run through some drills, but mostly it's just 6-on-6 play during summer. Now, during fall, we're going to go from Monday all the way through Sunday. A typical Monday in the fall, Monday and Sunday are kind of interchangeable. One of those days you're probably going to have off from all athletic related activities. Now, most of the time your coach will ask you to watch film in Division I, but you're supposed to have 1 day off per week, okay? But let's say Sunday is your day off, Monday is your day at work, okay? Monday, you would probably have weights in the morning. Let's say from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock a.m. you have weights, all right? 7 o'clock, you go take a shower, you run by breakfast, you grab breakfast, you go to class from 8 to 12. 8 to 8:50, 9 to 9:50, 10 to 10:50, 11 to 11:50. Monday at 12 o'clock, you go grab some dinner or you go grab some lunch, okay? After lunch, you usually go maybe take a nap or go study a little bit, do some homework, get prepared for your test maybe on Tuesday, get ready for your Tuesday classes. 2 o'clock, you probably go watch film or you go in to do some individual work inside the gym. Probably around 3 to 5:30, you're gonna have a 2.5 to 3 hour practice, okay? So from 3 to 5:30, you have practice. 5:30, you're going to go over film from practice or film for your next match from 5:30 to 6. At 6 o'clock, you go grab dinner. And at 7 o'clock, you probably have a study hall or you go study from 7 to 10 or 7 to 11. And then at 11, you probably go on Facebook, scroll through your Instagram, and then go to bed at 12. Tuesday, it starts all over again. You probably don't have weights on Tuesday, so you get to sleep in. You go to breakfast at 7:30. You got class from 8 to 12 probably. 12 o'clock you have lunch. After lunch you probably have a lab from 1 to 4. So you go to lab from 1 to 4. 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock you got practice that night. It's a little bit later on Tuesday because you have practice that night. So from 4 to 7 you have your individual or your tape session for a half hour, and then you have practice for 2.5 hours. You go grab dinner at 7. You go study from about 8 or 9 o'clock until midnight. You get to bed at midnight. You wake up at 6. And Monday and Wednesday are about the same. You go to weights, breakfast, class, lunch, sleep, maybe a nap or some studying, practice or individuals, practice or video, dinner, and then you study at night. Okay? Thursdays like Tuesday, you go to breakfast and then to class, lunch and then probably a lab, and maybe you have some time to take a nap in the afternoon. You get a 3-hour or 2.5 hour to 3-hour practice. You have dinner, and then Thursday night you're probably preparing for Friday. So you might travel on Thursday night. Friday is usually a game day, so if it's at home, you have weights in the morning, probably just a stretching session, not very hard weights. You have class from 8 to 12. You go eat, and then you go home. You go back to the dorm and you probably sleep or you get ready for your game. You probably watch some film. Probably around 5 o'clock, you're going to go into a serving and passing session. You're going to go back and grab a quick pregame meal. About 6 o'clock, you probably go out and get ready on the court. You probably do some passing drills on half the court. Maybe do some serving and serve receive during your 4 minutes or your whatever. And then 7 o'clock is match time. 9 o'clock match is over for about 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes or an hour, depending on how much your coach likes to talk. You go back into the locker room, you talk about the match, what can you fix, what can you change. And then after you're done with Friday night, you go back to get a shower. You might go out and go to a party. You might go back and just go to sleep and crash. You might do whatever it is, depending on what your social life is at that school. Saturday is another game day, and again, we're at home, so we're talking about being at home. So you wake up, you get a pregame meal. Noon, you probably do some serving and passing. 1 o'clock, you're on the court for pregame. 2 o'clock is your game. 4 o'clock, you're done with your match. You talk to your coach. You get a shower. You probably do some studying. You probably go out and hang out with your friends. You probably go to a party on Saturday night, and then Sunday you go to church. Okay, and that's your full week at home. If you're on the road, usually on Thursday you'll usually travel in Division I. If not, on Friday morning, you get up, you travel. 5 o'clock, you get on the court for serving and passing. 6 o'clock, you have your pregame. 7 o'clock, you have your match. 9 o'clock, you're done. You shower in the locker room. You get on the bus. You travel to your next place that you're going to play if you play the next day. You get in a hotel. You sleep over in the hotel. You get up. You eat breakfast at the hotel. And then you have study hall from like 9 to 11. And then you go get a pregame meal. You do some serving and passing at noon. You get on the court at 1. You play your match at 2. At 4 o'clock, you talk about it. You shower. You get in the bus. You drive and get some dinner. And then you drive home. You're usually home around midnight or 1 a.m. Okay? That is a normal week during season for Division I. Now, an off-season week during Division I, you're not traveling as much. And you have limited hours in the gym. So what you're going to do is you're going to have weights probably more often. So you probably have 3 to 4 weights a week. Okay? You're going to have practices probably 4 days a week. You're just probably going to have the weekends to yourself. You probably have 4 weekends that you have competitions where you're going to go out, and it's not going to be too far. You probably will host one. You'll probably go within 3 hours to all the other 3. And it's a little bit more laid back, but you're really working on technique and individual skill. Your academics are the same. You're taking 12 hours, so you're probably going to school from 8 to noon. You probably have lab from 1 to 4, and you probably have practice for about 3 hours, 4 days a week. Okay? It's not as intense as fall, but again, 2 out of 3 Division I athletes say that they spend the same amount or more time in the gym or on volleyball working on their technique in the spring than they do in the fall. Since your mandatory hours are limited, a lot of teams in Division I have non-mandatory or voluntary workouts that they do as a team. They'll have open gyms during the spring, and they might have them for 2 days. So you're still getting 6 days of practices, and even during the spring in Division I. I hope that helps you with Division I volleyball. We've given you, again, the recruiting calendar. We've given you a little bit of stats on how many people go to the school, about 10,000. How many students are in each class, about 1 out of every 25 students is an athlete. And that kind of gives you an idea of what your Division I volleyball life is like. If you have any more questions on Division I was a Division I coach for a year. I can help you out a little bit. Please email me at thevolleyacademy@gmail.com. I wish you luck. I hope Division I is that end-all be-all for you, but maybe instead of sitting and being the last person on the bench, if you are in between Division I and Division II, you might want to go to a Division II school and be a stud and be a star. If you're going to Division II, hang tight. We're getting into it in Chapter 3. Good luck and God bless. Thanks a lot.